Hi, how are we doing today, guys and gals? It's your boy Joestar TCG, and we back today with another how-to video, right? How to price check, I think. Let's get into it. And then just switch the screen. Right. So here we have the Mewtwo deck, right? Mewtwo deck. We all familiar with the Mewtwo deck as to how it goes. We know all the support. Well, obviously we know, but I believe the first step when you want to wait, I'm gonna shift this off right here so it doesn't be shaking so much. Yeah, I believe the first step that you want to do in order to price check is to know your deck, to know what cards in your deck, know how much cards in your deck. Obviously you won't always be able to remember all the cards in your deck, but you should be able to remember most cards in your deck at least. So we just go a little starting hand here, shuffle, cut, take 7 off the top, 7. Alright, take a pass through. Alright, you have a basic to start. Okay, this hand horrendous. You see how much Ultra Ball in this hand? Loss. Then we put up the prizes. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, game start. Draw for turn. Another energy. Garbage. But yeah. This is one of them bad hands with the deck, but do study it. So we use the Ultra Ball to start, you know, you get energies in the discard. Alright. And we pick up the deck. So the first step when you want to price check is you're looking for the core parts of your deck, whether it be a particular supporter, whether it be a particular Pokemon, whether it be a particular item. No matter what it is, you always prioritize looking for that whatever it is that would allow you to play the game, right? So we start here. We have 2 Giovannis, a Ariana, so we keep going through. Now we know we play 3 Giovannis, we play 4 Ariana, we play 4 Petrol. All you're doing on your first look through is you're looking for whatever Pokemon you need to play the game. Because if you see you try to focus on price checking everything, you would end up taking a hell of a long time when your opponent patiently waiting on you, you know? So utilizing all the information that you have, you know, you have 4 energies and you need a bunch of these guys. So you have 1 as the active, you have 2 Spide-Ups, 1, 2. You always prioritize the Pokemon first. You have 3. There's the 3rd one on this here, and then you're looking for the 4th one. Now so we have the 4th one. In the event that you didn't have the 4th one now, you would have to look through. Well, you would have to take the time to say alright, and that 1 prize, right? And then you're looking through again. So you have 1, 2 spiders, 3 spiders. Alright, so on that first look through, you recognize, Spide-Up's prize. 1 Spide-Up's prize is one of the prizes. Primarily, what it does do when you're going through your deck for the first time, you look for what Pokemon prize, primarily, and then you look for whether it be energy or supporter, one out of those 2. So, I'll look through, I'll grab a Spide-Ups, we use Ultra Ball again, keeping the max belt. Yeah, because this is a pretty terrible start, but grab another one of him. Let me look in here. Actually, in this position, and I'll probably grab this guy. If that's how bad the hand is, I'll grab this guy just so I can survive a little bit, you know. But we know we have the A-Spec in hand. We know one of these Spide-Ups prize. So now we're looking through to see what considers the energy. At least with this deck here, Rocket's energy is very important. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we know that 1 Rocket's energy prize. So from the first look through, you should be able to find out at least 2 prize cards, and then going forward, you will deduce what else prize. Because primarily you have like 45 seconds to look through your deck. So you have your Articuno, you have your Spide-Ups, you have your 2 Articuno, you have 2 Mewtwo. I believe I'd see the Mewtwo. Yeah. So you have your 2 Mewtwo. That primarily is your first deck switch. You're ideally trying to find out at least 2 of your prizes. So from that look through, you already know, alright, Spide-Up's prize and one of my energies prize, right? Now with this hand, we're not really playing much, you know. So we'll just pass it over to the opponent. The opponent do whatever, they come back to you. You draw 1 card off the top deck, right? You got a way to search, so all you have to do is pass. Let me see this guy knock out. You push this guy for a little strength. You got Giovanni. This could allow you to play the game a little bit. So Or go on, you hit them with the Giovanni, retreat, and you play this to draw 2. Alright, you know, bench that, attach here, and we pass, you know. This die again, we push this, draw again, aye, receiver, we save. Then the second look through the deck, you're looking to find something else, because you already know that Spied Up's price and energy price. So let me look through the supporters now, because we play 1 Giovanni, we have 1 Giovanni here. We're looking for the 3rd Giovanni. The 3rd Giovanni is here, nice, so we check that. We're looking for Ariana now. We have 3, all of them chilling down to the back 4, all Arianas there. We see I check we had 2 lilies early o'clock. So now we're looking, we have Archer, we had the 2 lilies, looking like we prize a Proton. Right, so from this position we'll just grab Ariana. Right, and we'll obviously play Ariana. But we still checking through, you know, you show your opponent, alright, I make this play, I got this card, I'm going to use Ariana. So you keep checking through just to make sure that you know you know what you have from what you do have. Right? So you're looking like we price a night stretcher as well, yeah? So as you progress through your deck, you would slowly be able to learn what cards price. And a lot of times too, it might be thinking, oh shoot, I need to price check way efficiently, you know. A lot of times you don't necessarily have to price check all line tents, because when you find out a couple of your prizes, mean like primarily 3, the rest of them would come to you as you play the game, right? So 6 with the Ariana, right? So now we have cards to play. We in Brickta again, we have cards to play. Tasha there, we played that. Now bear in mind we only have 1 night stretcher, but we will use the night stretcher nevertheless because we need to establish a proper board. You understand? So yeah, now we have cards to play. We can play the game a little bit. We attach return, it can take a swing, but we play that so we can draw 2. But we get more cardboard to play. You love to see it. Alright, so primarily, hopefully that little demonstration, because well, we know we price our energy, we price our night stretcher, and we price a mimic you, a factory, a Spied Ups, and a energy. Okay, psychic energy. So again, not all the time you'll be able to price check and find out all your cards one time or find out all your cards immediately, because even though you're playing the deck, you still just forget cards and you're not sure and you just have to remember and stuff like that. So from a realistic standpoint, I don't expect any and everybody to be able to just price check efficiently one time, you understand? So you look through the deck, you know what cards missing. Once you can map out at least half your prizes, the other half of the prizes would become known to you as you play the game, because you would be able to realize that, okay, I'm missing this card, I'm missing that card. So again, another deck, Stammy Frost last, right? Because this deck real dependent on starting up now, you know, setting up properly and all that kind of thing, and then having your legacy energy to be able to survive the mid game. So yeah, let's say we just shuffle up, take 7 of the top 4, 5, 7. Alright, so in this started hand, unfortunately, we started in me out, which is horrendous. You seen this hand? My gosh, what kind of hands is this I dealing myself with? Nice pressure. Alright, so we have 6 prizes. Nice, so we draw for turn. Absolutely nothing to play. Alright, so provided we don't get dunk, but let's just say for, you know, sake we using whatever to find access to the deck, right? So we are aware that this is our hand. We have Legacy, Dark, Water. Meowth is on board. We have 2 Starmie and we have our Frostlass. So we see the second Frostlass because we're playing 2. So we see the second Frostlass, we see the Surfing Beach. Supporters there, we have Blood Moon. I can't remember, I have Blood Moon in this deck. Yes, Frostlass there. Right, and like I say, you're just looking through to see your Pokemon. So you have 2 of those, you have 2 of those. Your Monkey Dory, your Badoo, your Starmie, your 3rd Snorunt, so we're good. Your 2nd Starmie, your 2nd Monkey, your 3rd. Right, so as soon as you look through there now, you take into consideration, okay, what card I'm not seeing? What card I'm not seeing, right? Because I know how to play the deck a lot. I don't know all the cards, but I know a few of the cards. What card I'm not seeing? That's the question. So it's looking like I'm not seeing our lilies. So one of the lilies prize it looking like, right? So this is the first deck search. A lot of times the first deck search, you have to make sure that you do it relatively quick, because you know your opponent's saying they're just watching you while you mapping out all your prices, when it's like, bro, a game being played, you know. So we have all the recovery, we have all our Pokemon that necessary for play. So far, only thing I find out is that we're missing is our lilies. That's the only thing I know for sure we prize. Other than that, I don't know. Because why? You play the deck so much, but again, you don't memorize all the cards, and that's the problem. So you just have to have a certain amount of cards that you're looking for, that you know you're expecting to see. You understand? So from this hand right here, it's quite fine. Like, my hand obviously unplayable. If I don't get a Pokemon, probably I'll die the next turn. But the bottom line is that I know for sure that we have all that is necessary to play the game. The only thing that looking like we prize are risky runes. A risky runes along with a lily, and also a body puffin. Yeah, a body puffin. So I know 3 of the prizes at least. But I'm gonna check and make sure, because I ain't even know. Larry was prized, Hilda was prized, Salvatore was prized, Starmie was prized, Lily, and Risky Road. So again, you had 2 of them, and the rest pressure. But like I say, the whole idea behind it is note a certain amount of cards are in your deck where you need to play the game, and you go in from there with that. So we know that two of the 6 was prized. As we go through the deck again, we'll probably recognize, okay, we're playing 2 Hildas or 3 Hildas. I can't remember how much we're playing in this list now, I'm gonna lie to you. But yeah, 2 to 3 Hildas. I guess we're playing 2 Hildas. Yeah, we're playing 2 Hildas, right, we're playing 2 Hildas. So one is the full art, one is the regular. So also there's why people just play full arts, because it's easier to keep checking the prizes now, keep track of the prizes. So like I say, as you play the deck, the least you can do is try to memorize what cards in the deck, so that when you see it's time to go through the deck, you can recognize what cards missing within relative ease. So in this deck, supporters important. So Larry, Skill, Hilda, Salvatore. The Starmie being prized is fine because we had 2 in hand. Again, nothing monstrous was prized, it's just the hand dead. So let me see if I can do our next example where I like properly price check and lock it off with that one, right? But yeah, hopefully you gain the idea or the gist of it. At least how I just price check, because I would go through the deck once, I would see, okay, 2 things price, alright, that is real information for me. Go through the deck again, find out 1 more thing price or 2 more things price, and I'll be like, alright, cool, nice. So I'm inside, you know? So we're going again, shuffling. Right, 2, 4, 7. You see what's going on here. You start Blood Moon and me out. We rather play the Blood Moon. This is tragic starting, but yeah. So we go with the pricing again, and we draw for turn. So then we hit them with the Ultra Ball here. Discard 1 and 2. Go into the deck, and let me see what I'm missing here now, right? So we have 1 Lilies in hand, but we keep the information. So we had the Surfing Beach, 1 Starmie and Meowth, and the Lily. So we're looking right now for the Starus and Starmies. That's what we're looking for, because we know these 2, we discard this here to operate, you know, to play the game. So we had the Meowth, we had the Staryu, the Starmie, the Staryu, Starmie. Alright, so all the Starmie, Mega Starmie accounted for, because we played 3. Ignition Energy, because it's a 1-of, it's a good thing to keep memory of, I guess. Oh shoot, this so far out. Alright, yeah. And okay, so we see we have Salvatore and we have Staryu. So all these Staryus accounted for, and all the Mega Starmies accounted for. Right, so now we go through a second time, and then we say, alright, we're going and find this Pokemon. We would add that Pokemon to hand, and then we go through. While you show, alright, I added this card to hand. You can take a quick glimpse through again, see what else going on, see what missing, see what not missing. Looking like a snow run prize. I can't be too certain, but for now, everything I need to play the game is presently available to me. So that means that the pricing is nothing too egregious to really say, you know, hey, pressure any dance way, you know. So we have dark, we have water, we have 2 dark. Okay, so the deck is 3 dark and 4 water, I think. I can't remember. So we are coming for all the dark, and now we're gonna check for the water. Right, and I see 4 water there, right? So we're going through again. Right, that is it. You can't want to overdo and say, you know, we're doing this, we're doing that. Nah, you can't overdo it like that, because your opponent patiently waiting to take their turn as well, and we are on a time crunch, as they say. So from the first search, I didn't find out anything at all. I know what price, primarily because everything I need to play the game is presently in the deck. So me getting frustrated and saying, oh gosh, I ain't had this or this price or whatever it is, that's not necessary at all. Primarily because, yes, your price is important. It's good to find out your pricing, but everything I need is available to me in the deck, so I don't have to stress about the pricing. So as I go, I will find out the cards. So you go for your second turn, you draw, sure you put on that, and then you play your little easy termination, shuffle up. Let's see if I can get another way to search it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So we can get another way to search. None in hand, but we find switch, which is pretty good because we know this was in the deck. And we have water to ensure that we get the attack going. So we can switch, put that down, and just for, well, obviously you wouldn't do anything, you just take a knockout, what have you, from here. But just for practice purposes, we'll play down the meow so we can take a look into the deck and see if we can find out anything else that potentially missing. Ooh. Yeah, see if we can find out anything else that potentially missing from the deck, because right now everything looking good right here. Alright, we got energy, we are coming for the energy, we are coming for that. We find Hilda. Let me see if I have all the Hilda here. Hilda, Snorunt, Stami, Snorunt. All the Snorunt accounted for. The side deck is there. Looking like we price Body Puffin. The next Hilda there. So yeah, we price Body Puffin along with Surfing Beach was already, yeah, Surfing Beach in deck. Let me check and see for the bosses here now. We have 1 boss. Taking our next look through. Alright, so from the second session, we price a boss. So coming down there now, we'll just take add the boss to hand just in case, you know, we want to make a particular play on the following turn. But from that second search, we see, alright, so we price our boss. We are aware that we price our boss at this point. Now this is second deck search for the game, but we are aware we price our boss, and that's all that matters. Because why? We have access to boss. We have the attack, and we're going to take a prize this turn. So let's say we take a knockout and we get the boss off the prizes, bro. No, that's funny. And then we say come back, we draw top deck Wally. That's insane, I ain't gonna lie. Heal him, pay him back, we take our next knockout. Body Puffin. I know Body Puffin boss was prize. So again, from the little searches that you do, you take the time to try to find out what is missing from what is not missing. So 2 Pokepads and an Ultra Ball. So again, everything that I needed to play was in the deck. Nothing was missing. Nothing was, oh, I don't have this. It wasn't like where, oh, I needed Lily and I only had 1 Lily in deck, you know. Everything was accounted for. Everything that I needed to play the game was in the deck. So these prizes here, not really stressing at all. I forget I just played 2 of this Mega Frost last, yes. But yeah, like I say, so the bottom line is always look through for the vital things that you need to play the game. So you see, I looked through the deck and I was like, okay, I have everything I need to play the game, so I don't even care about my prizes, primarily because I have everything I need to play the game. Damn, this real freezing, but yeah, I know we're gonna do that. But yeah, so main thing is, once you have everything you need to play the game in deck, prices is whatever. But if you see you're looking through and you see, oh wait, I need this card to play the game. Like let me say you play 2 Meow and you have one, you start 1 Meow. At that point you'll be looking through your deck to see if you find the next Meow, because the only way for you to really play the game is to be able to have the next Meow to find a supporter to play the game. You understand? So that's primarily what you're looking for. So yeah, hopefully no, this rail sticking. This camera rail sticking. But I digress. So hopefully the information was a little useful with deck checking and price checking, where you're looking for the function and the mindset of, okay, what do I need to play this game? Do I need body puffin? Do I need Pokepad? Do I need Meowth? What my main attackers, are they available to me? Is something, are they wrong? Are they there? So in the last game we recognized that we prized a Starmie a Mega Starmie. We had the two Frostas, but we prized a Mega Starmie. So again, whatever is your main attacker, you always want to check for those guys. Like in Dragapult is the price check for primarily because all you're looking for is your Dragapult line. That's about it. Your Dreepies, your Dracloaks, and your Dragapults. That's about it. You don't really search for anything else because you have everything else you need. Well, your A-Spec, of course. Obviously, I'm had to be there. So, yeah, like I say, you always check for Pokemon, your main Pokemon that you need, your main attackers. Always check for those first. Try to see if any of those prize. If none of those prize, always go for your A-Spec, because it's a pink card. See if that pink card in your deck. If the pink card there, you're inside. If the pink card not there, pressure. Well, not really pressure, you just play without it. You play to suit. And thirdly, you're going to check for whatever is the other requirement to play the game. So if in Dragapult's case, after you check his main attackers, his energy is something that he very, very conscious about. So he would check energy. In this Mega Starmie Frostas deck, after I check the Pokemon and realize my attackers there, I'll check my energy to see if I have access to Armor Water and Ignition. Because I can't take big KOs without Ignition. I would need to use Crispin in order to energize, and I have to make sure that I have all my energies available to me to do a play like that. You understand? And after you see you check those two things, if any of those missing, you play to suit. But if they're not missing, you don't even care about your prizes. Bruh, I don't care about my prizes. If my main source in the deck, if my main attackers are available to me, I could care less what my prizes are. You know what I'm saying? Obviously now that's not the right thought process to have. You know, you should always properly try to check your prices. But the step by step is main attackers, Pokemon in the game, Pokemon that you need to play the game, A-Spec, energy, according to the type of deck. But energy is usually important because you would need to make sure that you have energy available to you in order to attack. So yeah, and then after that you check what supporter might be missing or what item might be missing. But the main three things is your A-Spec, your Pokemon to play the game, and your energy, because you need your energy to attack. So that's how I just price check. I just price check by breaking down those three things and going with that point. Yeah. So Pokemon to play the game, A-Spec, and energy. So yeah, hopefully the information was useful. Thanks for watching, and yeah, until next time, peace.
Chad.